Mr. Singh, appreciate the patience, and I want to ask you, sir, with the
Thank
kind
you.
of instances that we saw yesterday, where, there is a protest, you are detaining leaders, what's the point of a cop coming out and kicking that leader while he's being detained? On the other hand, what went down today? You have Renuka Chowdhury actually pulling the collar of a cop who's shown great restraint.
Absolutely, Preeti. There is no explanation and they cannot be condoned. Whoever kicked Mr. B.B. Srinivas needs to be taken to task as per the law, and suitable departmental and disciplinary action needs to be taken against that police officer who kicked Mr. B.B. Srinivas. Now, coming to the fact of the second incident of Ms. Renuka ji, it was such a pleasure to interact with Renuka ji, I as DGP of Uttar Pradesh and Madam Renuka ji as a Union Cabinet Minister. So learned and so educative, and she would tell us what is the legal aspect and many other issues. It is totally unexpected, and in one incident this satyagraha has been converted into a duragraha. The breach of 144 CRPC, to manhandle a cop, and that too, and to say that this is an optical illusion. It is neither an optical illusion nor a hallucination. It is perfect and proven by your video recordings that she is surrounded by women constables, and there is no question, there is absolutely no question of any ill treatment of Madam Renuka ji, and also nobody would have the temerity to do a thing like that, or even if it had happened that way. She claims, and which I'm sure she is from the finest family pedigree, it is totally unexpected. At least I, for one, am very disappointed and shocked at this conduct.
But Mr. Singh, as I go back to Mr. Gupta, and Mr. Gupta has a point which he started off with even yesterday. Should have the Delhi police entered the premises of a headquarter? They were protesting inside their own headquarters.
I don't think the police should have actually entered the headquarters. That is, you see, it is not a criminal's, it is a political agitation, and the police should have maintained respectable distance, and entering the headquarters, I have my own reservations. They should have intervened only when there was a breach of law or there was a requirement for them to intervene. Unnecessarily entering the headquarters was best avoided.
I want to bring in Rahul Gupta into this conversation. Now, Rahul Gupta, the fact is it's not an odd incident of possibly one leader, acting out by grabbing the collar of a cop. The fact is there are reports of violence and arson from across the country. It's not just what happened, in Hyderabad with Renuka Chowdhury.
Preeti, if you see last 3 days, whatever has happened, I was there across these agitations at Delhi. It was very peaceful from on day one. Rahul ji came, we were just marching. The way they started, brutalizing the whole thing. It was never expected by any of the leaders who were there. Still we were peaceful. There was calmly. Next day, if you see, they entered our headquarters. They beat our workers. They took them away. B.B. Srinivas or Sachin Pilot ji, how can you expect this? This is never expected. Mr. Singh was talking about the case. Let me tell you, Mr. Rahul Gandhi or Sonia ji, they always respected the law. They never said that we will not go to ED. The issue is this is not the matter of ED. We have done 4 press conferences. There is no question of money laundering anywhere. If there is a question of money laundering, where is the FIR? If ED wants to act, there has to be FIR. There was a private complaint by Mr. Swami, which was withheld by himself. Where is the question of FIR? There is no answer. Let me give you 6 examples. Mr. Narayan Rane, Mr. Hemanto Vishwasa, Mr. Yadurappa, Mr. Raman Singh. These are the leaders against which the ED inquiry was initiated, and after that then nothing happened. Why? Because they joined BJP. So where is the scope of ED? ED's scope is money laundering, and wherever the complaints were filed, there is no action because those leaders joined BJP, and wherever they want to harass the opposition, even if there is no scope of ED, they will go and harass the opposition. So we were agitating against that. It is our right to demonstrate against that, or peacefully go with our leaders for a march from our office to ED office. I don't know what is the reason for BJP to get frustrated and tell their police that, okay, go after Congress leaders. It was not justified at any cost.